Hi guys, welcome to Dad in the Don. Today we're going to be looking at Brentford versus Man United. I'm going to hear from a few people a bit later on, get a Man United perspective as well, but we're going to start off with a Brentford perspective, and I'm going to be speaking to Jay, who's our regular Brentford pundit. So hi Jay, welcome back on mate. Nice seeing you again. Been a little while since last saw you on the Everton preview. Obviously we spoke about your bad run of form before that, sort of like 4 or 5 games without a win. But obviously you've had 4 games since we last spoke, had 2 wins, draw and a loss, quite a lot of mixed performances in there. But looking at that, 7 points from 4 games, got to be quite impressed with that. You happy with that haulage, happy with the performances, or do you think there could have been more?
Yeah, like you say, the first 4 games have been last 4 games have been a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. I think we did well against Everton. I know they're in a kind of bit of a downward spiral, but I think you still got to get the win, which we did. I think Tottenham just showed the quality above us, and we kind of weren't really at it on the day. Gave it a last little bit in the second half, but wasn't really threatening, kind of like the League Cup game last year. Leeds is do you know what I mean, the gutting one, but like Frank said in his interview, after if it had been 2-2 any other time in the game rather than the last minute, then no one says as much. But obviously it is in the last minute, and we have got to do better there. And then a nice win against Watford, who I think were a bit passive in the first half and sat back a bit. And then I think we kind of pushed in the second half. We didn't really have much. There were some really nice passages of play I thought we did against Watford. It was just we were kind of missing quite a bit in the final third. But then, do you know what I mean? We got the goals late on, and that's through persistence and kind of not giving up, and which we've done the whole time we've been in the Prem. I think, to be honest, we have kind of gone for it, and that's our first coming from behind win. So lots of firsts. So yeah, not too bad. I think the league position says it all, to be honest.
So obviously you're going to be hosting Man United in your next home game. So as a new team coming up, you're playing against the most successful Premiership team in history. So I know they're not as good as they once were, but still by name and by reputation, they are the team you think of when you think of the Premier League. So just put into words what this actually means to be able to go and watch this game.
So yeah, we're almost at the halfway stage in the season, and I think Man United, as well as Liverpool, Chelsea, I think all massive games. Chelsea being a London derby, not much rivalry because we never really played each other, but yeah, it's a West London rivalry and arguably the 2 best clubs in West London. So I don't want to play down Man United, but we've had Liverpool, the second most successful team in English football. But don't get me wrong, it's still amazing, and make sure I'm going to fucking sort my season ticket out because I've lost it. But yeah, definitely one of those games you think I can't miss that. I'm definitely going to try and get a ticket to away at Old Trafford as well. I think it'd be a great game. In terms of expectations, to be honest, this is a bit of a free game. Like the Liverpool one was at home, like the Chelsea one was at home. Is let's see if we can do them any damage. I think it couldn't have come at a worse time, to be honest. I think Man United are definitely going to be. We'll see after tonight. Definitely going to be on an upward curve now with new manager, players having to prove themselves. We would have liked to play them a few games ago, but it is what it is. You've got to take it as it comes. But yeah, massive game under the lights Tuesday, Griffin Park. It might as well be called Griffin Park at a community stadium. Yeah, it's going to be a buzzing game.
So we just have a look at like team news. So are there any players that are going to be coming back from injury that you know of? Obviously, Ivan's been out with his COVID-related absence, so he should be back now, I'd have thought, shouldn't he? And then anyone else that you think is going to be coming back, and any changes that you think Frank will make to this one, mate?
Yeah, so I think not that anyone said anything. We're looking at Tony being back. Sergi Canos is back as well. Um, Frank has hinted at a 3-4-3. Before Wisa got injured, he was looking at playing those Brian, Wisa, and Tony up top. I don't think Wisa necessarily helped himself against Watford. Bit of a baptism of fire as a first start. Didn't play great, but he's got a finish on him. So I'm not bothered whether he's on the bench or whether he's on the pitch. I think he's still a massive asset. But yeah, in terms of any other team news, nah. Ray is still out. I think Pinnock's still going to be out with COVID. I think if we look at Watford, and I think it shows the importance of the win. We had four of our best player, the top four players from who scored, barring Brian, were out. So Raya, Pinnock, Tony, and Canos, all our top performers on who scored ratings. Like again, I love a stat. So yeah, massive win when we necessarily didn't have a very strong team.
So thanks for coming on, Jay. Good having you on as always. So just before you go, just give us a quick brief rundown how you think this game's going to go, any key battles, type of game we're going to get, and what you think the score will be, mate.
Obviously, Ralph is known for gang press, so expect a lot of that, a lot of high Man United energy. But like we've said before, I think we play slightly better against teams like this who don't sit and wait for us to do stuff. So I think that was shown against Watford. It was shown when we played Norwich that obviously Norwich are up, so yeah, you defend the lead. But yeah, it's us breaking down teams, which is the hardest part. So I think countering, we're very much a threat. So look, it's going to be like one of those games like Liverpool, Chelsea. We're going to give it all. If we're losing, we're going to throw everything at them, see what they can handle. But yeah, to be honest, I'm not expecting big things. Obviously, I always back the boys for the win. We're at home, under the lights, Tuesday night. I think it's going to be a buzzing atmosphere. See what we can do. My favourite player in the world ever is Ronaldo, so do you know what I mean? I can't wait to see him play live if he starts or plays. I'm sure he will. So yeah, so they're going to attack a lot, and we're going to have to defend with our lives. I don't want to really give a score prediction, but yeah, look, they're gonna score and we're gonna score. So both teams to score. How it goes, I don't want to say, to be honest. But yeah, nice talking to you again, Phil. But I think it's time that you finally admitted that Palace just want to be like Brentford.
Yeah, I thought this was gonna come back to bite me in the arse, mate. After the last time, so yeah, I have to take my hats off. Been quite good the last few games, getting back into your groove a bit, and without your key players as well, as you mentioned earlier. So doing the business, climbing the table, should be looking at being safe now, but obviously don't want to jinx it. But yeah, in terms of us wanting to be like Brentford, what I will give you, if we could be Brentford just for the last 5 minutes of games, I think we'd be doing a hell of a lot better than we have been lately. So I'll concede ground on that one there, mate. All right. I'm going to get Man United fans' point of view in there first. So we're going to hear from Shahan down the middle, Mia, see what he has to say about the game. Then we're going to hand over to Graham and Rhys.
Brentford versus Manchester United coming up this coming Tuesday. It's going to be very interesting. Obviously, Brentford, the newly promoted team, doing decent in the Premier League. Will they stay up? Of course they will stay up. I think they've got a decent enough team and manager to stay up. They're doing well currently in their league. Will they get a Europa League spot or Champions League spot? Definitely no. But yeah, I can see them definitely surviving the Premier League. And with the budget they have and everything, to be honest, they're doing very well. Very well. However, they're coming up against the mighty Manchester United, who are on dangerous form right now, keeping clean sheets. Ralph's come in. He's had the idea of, being more defensive, as in keeping a clean sheet, keeping the ball away from his own goal, which is working to effect because the 2 games he's been in charge, they've both not conceded, which is amazing. However, we're still, I think, in my view, missing that clinical, upfront finishing mentality. We've got to bury our chances, don't look back, just bury it. So yeah, I can see this, it's going to be an interesting game. I think Brentford will give us a few heart attacks, but to be honest, I can't see them doing any real major damage. And I can see Manchester United winning this with a comfortable scoreline of 2-0.
Okay, it's my turn now, and I have a guest. It's another Brentford fan. It's Rhys. Hello, Rhys. Couple of questions for you. First off, your thoughts on the game last time out against Watford.
Hi there. Thank you for having me on. It's a bit weird because even though we've won, and I should be really happy about the fact we've won, we didn't play that well, and maybe that's a good thing that we can play poorly and win, but we never really looked like we were actually going to do anything in the game. We were very wasteful throughout the game. Our passes weren't connecting. We'd have one moment of great interplay, and then we play a pass straight to Watford. We were lucky that it was Watford and not Man United. Because honestly, if we play like that, Man United are going to have a field day with us. But I mean, it's tough. It's tough because we were without Tony, we were without Pinnock tonight. Canos was suspended from the Leeds game, so we are pretty much a pick and mix now as a team. So maybe that's to be expected.
Okay, so I want to ask you more about how Brentford approached this game against Man United. What will be the game plan? Is it going to be very similar to how you play against maybe Arsenal, Liverpool, or do you think Frank's going to be a bit more adventurous for this outing against a top team in Man United?
I think because of the players we're missing, we're naturally going more defensive. We're not playing as risky at passes. We're also not really full of confidence at the moment, which is weird because if you look at our run of games, we beat Everton. Okay, we lost to Tottenham, but we drew with Leeds and we've just beaten Watford. But we're not playing with that same confidence we had at the beginning of the season. I don't know if that's coming from Frank himself, that he doesn't have the confidence and the players are going out there without that confidence, or if it's just an in-the-moment thing of we can't afford to lose, so they automatically try and defend it. I don't know. I think I'd love to say that we're going to attack them the way we attacked Liverpool and Arsenal, but the way we've been setting up, it's very, very negative and very defensive. So I feel like we're going to go for the exact same thing. 3-5-2, defensive, and just try not to concede will be the aim.
So how do Brentford neutralise Cristiano Ronaldo? He's coming to Brentford. It's going to be a fantastic for everyone for him to be there. How does Janssen and Pinnock and possibly Good keep him quiet, or is that just impossible? It's a case of just doing the best they can. What's the game plan there?
I don't know how we stop Ronaldo without making stupid suggestions. Or suggestions that put his career at risk and all of that. I don't know how. It's one of those where it's like you can't be touch tight to him, but you don't want to be in a foot race with him. And it's just going to be one of those things. I mean, everyone was saying, how do you deal with Mo Salah? How do you deal with Mane? How do you deal with... I can't remember the Chelsea player, but, it's how do you deal with those types of players? And for the most part, the bend but don't break worked. But if Pinnock is now out with COVID, today we played with Janelle in defence, which he was good, but you could tell he wasn't a defender. And there's also rumours of Rico also having COVID, although he did play tonight. So I don't know. I think it's probably the worst time to play them because they're going to have the new manager bounce, which they had. And we're, like I said earlier, we're a pick and mix squad at the moment with, it's you play because I've got no one else. So.
And very briefly, how do you see the game going? And what's your score prediction, Rhys?
And this one pains me a bit because I usually like to back them. I really want to back them. But given the way we've been playing, given the way our squad is at the moment, I can only see it being 3-4-1 United. I reckon we'll get a goal, but yeah, I'll go 3-1. I'll go 3-1 United. Oh, that pains me. I wish I could be more confident, but yeah. At least Pontus scored tonight.